Hey, everybody, welcome to the Rational Review. This is your host, Big John. Let's get into it.
Give me my husband back. I escaped and just took my husband from my house.
Amy Fan's husband, Wean, has been in immigration custody for the last month. The couple has 2 kids, aged 11 and 3.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh
that's what
no.
people do.
My
People have
3-year-old's just like,
kids.
he just asked where daddy is. Like, where's daddy? Like, he's not used to daddy not being here.
Amy is American. We came to the U.S. as a refugee after the Vietnam War.
He moved here with his aunt. He tried to get citizenship, just like normal people. Everybody in his family was granted citizenship by him. And the reason that his paperwork actually states that the reason that they didn't give him citizenship was simply based on the fact that he wasn't the son of his aunt that came here with him.
We is among thousands of former refugees from the Vietnam War being targeted for removal because of prior criminal convictions. As a teenager, we went to prison in Georgia for a robbery that left a man dead. We told USA Today, I know I did something wrong, yes, but I already paid for my time. I did my time. I paid for all that. I'm still getting detained.
No, you
I'm
didn't.
petrified.
You didn't pay for your crime, man, because part of paying for your crime is being deported. You were supposed to be deported for your crime, and they didn't do it. So you got extra time for free. Be freaking grateful. Y'all, you should have been deported.
Petrified. If they're going to send him to Vietnam, we'll be happy to just go ahead and leave, because at this point, I'm afraid to stay. I'm afraid to stay in a country that my father fought for.
Give me.
She's not afraid to stay. She just. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Go ahead. Go to Vietnam. You'll be begging to come back. You'll divorce your husband and come back to America. Yeah, that's. And if it's your husband, you're telling me he didn't try to get citizenship after marrying you? Or get a green card after marrying or anything like that? I mean, come on. How stupid are you? You thought the administration's never going to change. We're never going to have this problem. I broke a law. I'm here illegally, and no one's ever going to do anything about it. Really? How stupid do you have to be? Come on.
A 2-year-old girl separated from her parents by deportation arrived in Venezuela today. Michaelise Espinoza arrived with more than 200 other migrants. She was seen being held by Venezuela's first lady before being reunited with her mother, who had been deported from the U.S. last month. Her father was sent to a maximum security prison in El Salvador in March. The U.S. government says the family separation was just because the girl's parents allegedly had ties to a Venezuelan gang.
Just because the family had ties to a gang. Really? Come on. The mom is not innocent. You know how this works. People that are with gang members and bad people do bad things too. Y'all know that. It's just insane. I know movies sometimes try to show the innocent woman that doesn't like the man breaking all the rules and stuff like that. But no, that's not how it is. Usually the woman is happy the man's breaking the rules because she's getting extra money from what he's making from breaking the rules and breaking the law and stuff. Come on now. And then the president of this other country is holding his child like, oh, this poor lady. No, you were a criminal. Okay. And now your daughter had to suffer a little bit because of it. That's your fault and your husband's fault or the dad's fault, wherever it is. Okay. That's not on anybody but y'all. Insane. Look at this woman. I swear, these people, man, all these illegals, they're here illegally, that they just love America. They love being in America because they know their country sucks.
I'm afraid that I'll be sent to a country that I don't know. Like, there's nothing there for me. At any moment, it's just like done. And it's just like, I have to say bye to my family, bye to my friends, my boyfriend. I have to say bye to my clients, and I just don't have my life anymore. But now I'm also scared of, like, not even having a future. Like, I want to buy a house. I want to do things, you know?
What I really love is during that interview. She purposely decided, no, I got upset and I was crying. I had snot coming out my nose. No, I'm not going to wipe it. Don't wipe. Don't wipe. Don't wipe. I want everybody to see this. Don't wipe. She's trying to play on your emotions. It's crazy.
How am I supposed to do that?
Originally, I have 4 miscarriages. Afia is my 5th pregnancy. When she arrived, it was really something else. It brought a lot of joy to me, continue. I guess that's why, I'm so close to her, because I never thought that I would become a mom.
Or it's because you're the mother
Tell me
and you're
about the
supposed to be
decision
close?
to leave Jamaica.
I'm not sure if there was a decision, like a plan. In my head, when we came up, I thought that it wouldn't be long after we came up, maybe a few years, and then we would be able to travel back and forth.
We want to be able to travel anywhere in the world we want and live where we want and do what we want. That's not how the world works.
We were naive to the immigration law.
Y'all weren't naive. Y'all were stupid thinking, oh, we can do whatever we want when we want and nobody's going to tell us nothing.
Dawnette and her husband were so sure they'd be able to return to Jamaica that they left behind Afia's little sister, 6-month-old Gabrielle.
What? Oh, hell no. No. How the hell? I'm a parent. No, I could never leave one of my children behind anywhere. No. I couldn't do it. No, either the wife is staying with the kids and I'm going to try to get us to a new place or something, and then I'm going to send for them or come back for them, or she can go if I set it up or something like that to get her someplace, and then we will follow. But no way am I leaving my kid behind. What kind of a terrible person are you? Who the hell are you to be boo-hooing when you left your child behind alone without his parents? You separated yourself from your child. You're a bad person.
I can't imagine, Dawnette, how difficult it would be to leave.
Bad person.
To make that decision.
Bad person.
When we made that decision, we were going to come up and then go back down and just bring her to the embassy.
There were other surprises, too. Dawnette found out she had lupus.
The funny, well, not funny, but the messed up part, I know there's lots of other countries that the culture of those countries is that children don't really count. They don't matter. A lot of people in a lot of countries think, no, I can start over somewhere else. I don't care. I can have another kid. And it's crazy. They don't put value on children the way we do in America. And then when they're getting kicked out of America, they're trying to play on us and our feelings about how we feel about our culture and how we feel about children. And it's just messed up. We treat everybody here better than anybody else. And, if you're getting sent back, you should have done it the right way. You should have come in the right way. Come on.
Painful autoimmune disease. She also became pregnant with their 3rd daughter.
All this is a boo-hoo.
Every decision that we made, we had to make it considering.
So why is it she had 4 miscarriages and then now she has no trouble having kids after that? Doesn't that sound strange to you? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Was it abortion? What was it?
Afia, Gabrielle, and Madison at the end of the day, not just one person.
All right, let's smile and look like we had the time of our lives. 3, 2, woo! All right, hopefully I see you guys next week.
And that's exactly how they planned this video. All right, let's make it look like this is the worst thing to happen ever in history.
So I post on social media. I try to do it every single day. I got brands reaching out to me. Right now I'm working with 3 brands, and I would love to monetize it more. A lot of
Well,
brands
keep
that
working
reach
on
out
it.
to me, a few of them have asked for.
Keep working on it. Keep working on it, and get deported, and keep doing that stuff where you're from. You know, all these people, they have this go-getter mentality because that's what America has taught them. You know what? When y'all get deported, keep that mentality. Do that shit in your country. If we deport millions of people, let's just say back to Mexico, because that's a big one right now, right? Is there a border right next? They're on our border or right across the border, and okay, we send back millions of people that now have the mentality of America to build and make something better of your society. You know, go out there and you know, uh, riot in the streets to change stuff, protests, change your country. You know, you can make your country as good as America or better. You can take your country. It'd be a lot easier to take your country and turn it into what you want instead of trying to come to America and make America what you want. America is set in stone. We're big, powerful. We've been around for long enough where you ain't changing stuff that much. And you see what happened when y'all try to change stuff too much. We're open to new ideas, but y'all change stuff too much, like under the Biden era. No, we're going to fight back. All right, we're going to fight back. We're going to elect people. They're going to, fix the stuff that we want fixed. So it would be a lot easier for these millions of Mexicans to go back to Mexico and remake their country. Force the cartel out. Ask Trump. Be nice and ask Trump. Hey, Trump, you know what? Yeah, you deported us all back to Mexico. We don't like Mexico because we can't do anything with it because of the cartels. Can you help us? Please help us. You know, y'all need to go out there and protest and ask for Trump's help in getting rid of the cartels. Trump will oblige. Enough of y'all people in Mexico ask Trump for help getting rid of the cartels. He's going to say, hey, you know what? That's what Mexico wants. Even though the president is saying that's not what they want, enough Mexicans are saying that's what they want. We're going to help them out.
W-2, I've had to turn them down.
When you were a kid, did you understand that your parents didn't have papers and that you didn't have papers?
How do you make any money? You're working under the table your whole life. What are you doing?
This was the first one I think I can remember. I was in junior high school, and I got accepted into a program for kids in lower income neighborhoods, and if you score high enough, you can go to boarding school.
How were you in school? You don't have a social security number. You don't belong here. How were you allowed to go to school? Come on. This is what I'm talking about. You know, it's crazy. You know, I've always had the stance, no, America needs to decide. Either we stick with the laws of immigration and don't let anybody in unless we want them in and want them to become citizens. If we don't want you to come in and become a citizen, no, you're not allowed here. Come on, we need to make a choice. And it looks like we did with Trump.
And then she told me, like, you can't do this program. You don't have the papers for it. I see my friends who went through the program, and I compare myself to them today, and I'm like, I could have been doing something else.
I could have been somebody.
But it's like the what if.
When you were at that age, just learning this stuff, trying to figure this stuff out, how did that make you feel towards your parents?
I was so mad because I was like, this wasn't my fault.
You're right, it's your parents' fault.
So much resentment.
It's your parents' fault.
For both of them. Because I felt like I got the stick, and my sisters were in such better positions than I was. My youngest sister was born here. And every day I was just like, I can deal with problems that I create. I can hold myself accountable for the things that I do. But I was like, I didn't do anything, and I was the one that had to just suck it up. Like, it wasn't my fault, and yet my life, I can't do things. I couldn't understand why they would put me in a situation like this.
Because they didn't care about you. They only cared about themselves. They're selfish. They didn't give a shit about you. They didn't give a shit about your future. They only cared about themselves. Let's get real. Come on.
For a while, Afia was able to get a work permit through the DACA program. But DACA requires renewal every 2 years.
Oh yeah, that's lame. 2020 was when it expired. So I got screwed because then, not only because of COVID, but applications were delayed because Trump administration as well. So it was like a double whammy.
You said something interesting that I want to understand. There's a big part of you that wants to go home, but you don't want to go home like this, on a deportation flight.
Yeah, because she wants to be free to go back and forth. She wants to be free to live here and go visit home anytime she wants. And she'd be able to do that if she came in the right way.
After 20-something years, it's almost like I'm being kicked out as a criminal.
A lot of the people behind Donald Trump and a lot of the people who voted for him believe that you are a criminal because you broke the immigration laws.
Yes, you did break the immigration laws. You should have went home when you were supposed to. Or you should have never came here. Whichever it was, you broke the laws. Now deal with the consequences. I've always known that, especially being, a male. A male in this society nowadays, especially, I'm a white male. So, especially being a white male, I know that, especially if I'm in a blue state, not only if I break the law will I get prosecuted, I will get taxed. I will get taxed on that. They will give me a tougher sentence because, we got one.
Staying here longer than you are permitted to. And
So no, I don't feel
they
bad.
don't want you here. How does
I lived with that my whole life.
I am hurt about it. And yes, I will admit that I made that decision to overstay. But that doesn't make me a criminal.
It does make you a criminal. So I guess you came here legally, but then they told you had to leave, and you were like, "Nah, I'm not gonna do it." Yeah, if someone comes over to my house because I invite them, and then I say, "Okay, it's time to leave," and they don't leave, you're a criminal.
People just trying to live. People just trying to survive.
Donald Trump has been very clear about the fact that he wants to deport every single person who's here without papers.
I am more fearful for my daughter, for Afia. Like maybe tracking her on the Find Me app one day and seeing her at a location where, I maybe can't figure out where is that. Trying to call her and she's not picking up. I mean, something like that maybe would push me over the edge.
Push you over the edge. What does that mean? Why don't you tell us what that means? You go out there and do some violent writing? Maybe go do some other crimes? Because you don't respect our laws anyway?
And I know she's 26. But that's my first child.
I'm just saying hi. I'm going to.
There's just a bond that's different.
Having kids is so stressful. Yeah, you just worry your whole life.
Yeah. I'm an American citizen. I was born and raised here. I have kids. Yeah. It's normal to worry about your kids. I worry about them all the time. It's called being a parent. It's called being a good parent that you worry about them all the time. And you try your best to protect them and teach them how to move in society and how to hold themselves to make sure that they have the best chance at life. Okay, I can't imagine, even if it was that bad, going to another country with my kids knowing that when they grow up, They're going to have to work under the table. They're going to have to hide their whole life from the system. I can't imagine doing that to my kids. I would rather stay here and take persecution, go to jail for the rest of my life, than to do that to my children. That's the difference between me and a lot of Americans and a lot of these people.
Yeah, I'm approaching the train station now. I'm about to go under. Alright, love you later, Mom.
I tell people all the time that, because I waited so long and have so many miscarriages, God kind of take a little bit of the beauty of the ones that I lost before and put on her. The same thing.
Not on your other children. Not on your other children. You're only saying that about this child because you know she's illegal. That's the only reason why. That's why you're saying all this stuff. And then when your kids get older and see this stuff, they're going to be like, oh, wow, mom loved her more than us. And the reality is, no, mom's worried about herself and her oldest daughter getting deported. I mean, yeah, it's just crazy.
That you want for your wife and want for your child is the same thing I want for my family. The fact is that our family is better off because we stayed.
How do you know that? Oh, because your other children are American citizens? You might get deported tomorrow. How are you better off? If you stayed and built a life where you were, maybe you would be better off there.
I'm
Yeah,
afraid that
y'all don't know.
Okay, this post isn't meant to be controversial. I want you to watch this. Just listen to it and then hear me out at the end.
No, it's not meant to be controversial. It's meant to try to pull at your heartstrings.
Come with me to self-deport my mom after being in this country for 36 years. My stepdad is staying behind and he'll join her in a couple of months. They've been together for 25 years. We're driving from LA down to TJ to drop her off at the airport and she'll be flying to Mexico City. After driving an hour and 30 minutes, my sister realized she forgot her passports at home.
You see that? LA. She's worried about being deported. So she was like, you know what? I'm just going to go stay with my family in Mexico. I'm going to take the money. It'll be nice. It's a ton of money in Mexico. What you getting, $1,000, $2,000 and a free plane ride? Come on, that is a ton of money down there.
Home. This was her heartbroken that she wasn't going to be able to drop off my mom all the way in Mexico. So she drove back home to meet my stepdad halfway, hoping that she will make it back on time before my mom's flight. The good thing is that we gave each other more than enough time to have brunch in TJ while we waited for her. We got to the airport with 3 hours to spare. We checked in her bags and we just waited in the lounge. This is the good thing about Mexican parents trying to check in so early because now we have all this time to spare. Look at Miss Diva getting ready. And my sister made it with 45 minutes to spare. You made it!
Oh, look. More heartstring pulling. Look at the grandkids she has to say goodbye to. Oh, wait. All these people are American citizens because they were born here, right? Oh, they can go visit grandma anytime they want. Oh, okay. Yeah, they can literally drive down and see grandma anytime they want.
My mom is leaving behind 3 grown-ass kids and 3 grandchildren. We are doing this all while some of the biggest ICE raids are going on back home. With my mom's complicated legal status, she decided to do this in her own terms. She has no criminal record, a hardworking taxpayer who has been working 12-hour
No criminal record. Here illegally. Criminal.
shifts since she was 15, 6 days out of the week.
Wait. She's been paying taxes and working since she was, 14, 15 something? What? Really? How is she paying taxes if she's illegal and here illegally? How does that work?
She never asked for a handout. She didn't get food stamps. She didn't get welfare. She didn't even ask for child support when my dad wasn't in the picture. She asked me to not cry, to let her go in peace, to take care of myself and not just trust all these new people I'm meeting. And I told her I'm protected, to not worry about me, and that I'm gonna go see her very soon. As the eldest sister, I stayed strong. I wanted to make sure that she knew that everything was gonna be okay. But this was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. The little one, on the other hand, she was struggling. Even though we're all sad to see her go, my mom hasn't seen her mom in 22 years. She's 51 and she's going back home to Guerrero, Mexico to retire. After so many years of being here, she forgot that that was the original plan.
Oh, she remembered the plan. Come to America, make money, and then go back to Mexico with all that money. Yeah, that was the original plan. So she's self-deporting. Okay, maybe y'all need to take early retirement and go back now.
I hate that all of this had to happen for her to make this decision, but I have a good feeling that this is going to be good for her. This was her finally meeting with my grandma after driving 5 hours from Mexico City to her town. If you have your parents close to you, don't forget to hug them today.
I want the right to hear that story. And I don't care. Listen, I want to be very clear. I don't care what you believe is right or wrong. I don't care. I want you to listen to the story. Because I believe in this situation, both sides have to understand each other. Just like I want the left to understand why people are voting for Donald Trump without saying names, without calling them names, without insulting them. It's best to start to understand why people are voting for Donald Trump and things like that. And it's also best for the right to understand why this is a difficult situation for people like this family.
We understand it's a difficult situation. Why do you think Biden got elected? Is because all the people on the right voted for him too. Enough of us were like, yeah, you know what? We understand. We want to be compassionate. We want to show we care. We want to, do our best to show our humanity. And what happens? Look what happened under Biden. He let in how many millions of illegals and criminals, or violent criminals on top of the people that were just being allowed to walk in or that were flying in on our tax-paying dollars. It's like, come on. Yeah, no, we tried that and y'all took that shit too far. We were like, yeah, let's go the route of compassion. Let's go the route of understanding. Let's go the route of emotional intelligence. And what did they do? What did the left do? They didn't take us to emotional intelligence. They took us to insanity. Insanity.
The only way we get through this is we try to understand each other. I live in Florida. I visited the West Coast multiple times. It is a different world. Different. And I don't agree with what's happening in LA. I don't agree with that at all. But I empathize with the stories.
He doesn't agree with what's happening in LA. You notice how he said, I don't agree with what's happening in LA. So that way he can tell whoever to not be confrontational. That way, if he runs into a Republican that's really for the National Guard being there, oh yeah, I don't agree with the riots. And then if he runs into a Democrat, a super left, he can be like, yeah, I said I don't agree with what's going on in LA. I hate that the National Guard's there. This guy is a chameleon. Okay, I mean, I like the sentiment that we got to understand each other. But the problem is it's not about understanding anymore. It's about the Democrats and the left just going way, way too far. It's just the insanity. We were all for Biden, a Democrat, president. We voted Obama in. He was a Democrat. Okay, we're for changing and becoming a better society that cares more about each other. But Democrats always take it and just go the insane route. It's like once they have the power, they get like power crazy or something.
Again, it doesn't matter what you believe is right or wrong. Okay? We need to try and listen to each other. Why families like this are struggling. But also, the left, the West Coast, they need to try and understand why people are voting for policies like this.
This was a bad story to do it on too, dude. She self-deported because it reminded her, oh yeah, I wanted to move back to Mexico anyway. This was just a person that needed that little push to be like, oh yeah, no, I should go back. I want to do anyway. How many people just stayed because it's comfortable and it's what they know, and nobody likes change.
And I try to cover both sides, and each side comes after me. Each side. And y'all automatically assume that I support one way or the other. No. I just believe that to avoid all of this, we have to understand each other. And that's what I'm trying to get out there. And that's why I'm sharing this video. Okay.
I kind of like this guy. He's trying to be a middle ground, but he doesn't understand how insane the left is. He just doesn't get it. It's like he doesn't see it. And then some of these comments, let's see, all the people saying, why not get citizenship? Have zero clue about the money it costs over years and years. Not to mention legal stays and being revoked, and people are being arrested at their hearings. No, people are not being arrested at their hearings. People are being arrested after their hearings, after they're ordered to be deported. Come on. Pay attention to what's actually going on. So let's see. She was here 30 plus years and didn't apply for citizenship. Really? Yeah, I agree. Let me see another one. It sickens me to see this world going through this, but I respect the mother going this way instead of the hell that she could have gone through. Really? The hell? Okay, you're put in handcuffs, you're taken, and you're deported back to your country. Yeah, this is definitely a better route for her, but it wouldn't have been hell. Okay, y'all don't know what hell is if that's what you think is hell.
President Trump and Secretary Noem. My name is Beverly Juarez, and this is my family. You may not know my father. President Trump and Secretary Noem. My name is Beverly Juarez, and this is my family. You may not know my father because you are busy, but today we ask for your help. On Friday the 30th, my father was detained by ICE. My mother is set to leave soon. We ask for your help with the deportation of...
Mother is set to leave soon. So that means your mom is going to leave your siblings with you instead of taking them with her. That just sounds stupid.
Our parents. My father's stay application was submitted on Wednesday in Miramar, Miami, and there it was sent to Chrome Detention Center. We know while this stay is being read and filed, he cannot be removed. We ask your help urgently to right this wrong. My father is a business owner, a taxpayer, and he's not a criminal. We beg for your help.
How is he a business owner and a taxpayer if he's an illegal? And then I always love it when people are like, oh, this is the law. It's like, y'all don't have a law degree. If I say something, I'd be like, yeah, I think so. I think this is the law. I think this is what's supposed to happen. But, I'm not a lawyer. I didn't go to law school. I didn't study that stuff. I'm not going to look something up on Google and be like, hey, this is the law.
Last night, we received a phone call from my father to my mother where he told us that he was on the list for the next flight out.
He's on the list for the next flight out. Yeah, because he's illegal and shouldn't be here. Guess what? I guess you were wrong. I guess it's not the law. You were wrong once again. And then your mom is going to go join him and leave your American siblings and yourself here in America, huh? So are you even 18? Are you even old enough to take care of them? No. Mom there should take all y'all with her and go link up with dad so you can be a big, happy family wherever you're at. Because that's what it's about, right? It's all about family.
Had little to no time to arrange care for or deported with mom. U.S. citizen kids caught in Trump's fast-track immigration crackdown.
What? No, they weren't deported. Mom was deported. She chose to take her children with her, like a good mother.
From a CNN article, 3 U.S. citizen children were deported to Honduras with their undocumented mothers.
Not deported.
Spotlighting the human cost of Trump's aggressive immigration push. Legal experts say the fast-track removals violate due process and ICE's own policy.
Really? Then why is it Obama had no trouble getting away with it? He had no trouble getting away with deporting people without what y'all think is due process. No, if you're here legally, you shouldn't get due process. You're illegal? Okay, we deport you. Period. It should be that simple.
Which require careful planning when U.S. citizen minors are involved. In some cases, parents had little to no time to arrange care for or legal protection for their children, and officials claim that the mothers chose to take their kids, but attorneys dispute this. And advocates warn this rushed, numbers-driven strategy endangers vulnerable families and tramples constitutional rights, including those of American-born children with legal protections under U.S. law.
Really? The mother chose to take them with her. The mother should be able to say if her children go with her or not, shouldn't they? Shouldn't mothers, they're getting deported, have the right to say, no, my children are coming with me? It has nothing to do with the children's rights.
My name's Ruby Powers, your go-to immigration attorney.
Look at that. She's an immigration attorney. So she's always trying to spit stuff and try to make up rules and laws and shit that don't exist. And she's always filling your heads with shit. She's filling everybody's heads with stuff that is not true. She wants us as Americans that want deportations to think, oh no, we have to give them, due process and all this other stuff. No, they're not American citizens. And when the children are U.S. citizens and the parents decide to take them with them, okay, that's the parents' choice. I don't know. It's just crazy. Crazy how these people think. I mean, I get this lady. She's trying to make money. She is preying on these people that don't have any money to apply for citizenship and stuff like that. Maybe she's getting money from, the 50 million Gavin Newsom or more or whatever to pay for immigration attorneys. That I in California, I didn't get a vote on that. Why can't we vote on stuff like that when you're going to give a ton of money from the state to defend illegal people that are breaking the law being here? Shouldn't the Americans that are paying that money have a right and a say in how we use it?
I want to talk about my personal experience with ICE. Yes, that's right. As a nice Midwestern, white, girly, I have personal experience with said agency that is now led by my former governor. So I used
Pinchuela.
to work for a nonprofit, and I would teach English and family literacy skills to parents, primarily moms, 99.999% moms, who had young children. And because I speak some Spanish, certainly not completely fluent by any means, but
How did you get the job? How did you get the job? If you're supposed to be teaching English to Spanish speakers, how did you get the job if you don't speak Spanish? That would be like a prerequisite to get a job like that, wouldn't it? I mean, come on.
I get by. I had primarily Spanish-speaking families. I grew really close to these families. You can't do home visits, you can't do classroom work, you can't work with moms and their children for years and years without really, growing a friendship and a relationship with them. At least I can't. Even after I left that job, some of those relationships continued, and one family in particular I stayed very close with. One day, the mom texted me. I could tell she was panicked, and she told me that her husband was at my house because he had run from his employer because ICE, and she asked if he could go into my home, and I was like, heck yes, of course he can. Because you see, here's the thing.
You're a criminal. That's the thing. That's the thing. If my children committed a crime, I would tell them to go turn themselves in. Go turn yourself in. Okay, especially if the police are chasing you, trying to arrest you, go turn yourself in. You're just making it worse. And now you're trying to make me a criminal by helping you hide. Are you really going to do that to me? You obviously don't care about me at all if you're trying to turn me into a criminal.
This family, all they did was work really, really extremely hard and go to church.
That's literally it. I know. And guess what? There's millions and millions of people all over the world that would love to be here that would just work really, really hard and go to church. But we can't just let everybody in.
That is literally all they did. Anyway, her husband ended up staying long-term somewhere else, staying away from the family because he was worried about what ICE might do to the family.
Yeah. Come on now. That's not all he did. He came into the country illegally. He ran from the police or the government officials. Come on. He's a criminal.
And he was right, because ICE absolutely harassed this poor family. They would pound on their doors in the middle of the night and ask where the husband was. They would kick over their garbage cans and spread their garbage all over the street. They would tell the mom, who was not someone they were trying to arrest or detain or deport.
This is what she told you, trying to make it sound worse than it was. Because she's embellishing, because she doesn't care about you. You're just a pinche güera, okay? And you don't get it. You're just a freaking white chick that they don't care about, that they're trying to use. That is it.
They would tell the mom that if she didn't tell them where her husband was, and she honestly didn't know, but if she didn't tell them, they would take her away in front of her kids. This was during the first Trump era, and this is when
Trump was trying to be nice, saying, yeah, we're going to deport your husband, but you know what, we're not going to deport you because you have children, and we don't want to separate you from your children. Y'all didn't want to play along. Y'all didn't want to give us the bad criminals. You didn't want to play along with anything. Y'all just want your way. So now, F you, we're getting our way.
we were seeing all those images of children in cages and children being separated.
Wait. What? Children in cages? That was Obama. That was Obama that had children in cages. Okay. And then Trump comes in and then they started blaming him. Really? Obama's the one that did it. Trump just didn't stop it. And they weren't cages. They may have looked like cages, but they were holding centers. And they all knew that's where they were going to have to stay when they were trying to seek asylum. It's like, come on. Yeah, if I could get $1 million, which would be a better life for me, by going to jail for a day or 30 days or 6 months, well, then I'm guaranteed that better life, that $1 million when I come out. Best believe I'm going to go do it.
From their families at the border, and there was a very real fear from her and from me that they would either take her away from her kids or that they would take her with her kids and then later separate them. So we actually drew up some papers.
People get separated from their kids. If I get arrested for something, I'm separated from my kids. Tom Holland said that is true. Americans, if we do something bad, we go to jail, we get separated from our kids. The only difference is location. We'll be in jail. They'll be in another country where their kids can still go visit. Okay, and visiting there would be a lot nicer than visiting in prison.
To give me emergency legal custody of the kids. I had a lawyer friend help me do this. She signed them in front of a notary, and we both just cried and cried.
Wow. They turned you into a criminal. They got you to break the law. And now you're willing to take care of her kids because she wouldn't want to take them back where she gets deported to. Okay, I got to give it to the mom. At least she cares about her kids and not want them to have to leave America. But it's ridiculous. Come on.
Her kids were citizens. I did not trust that administration, and I don't trust this administration to not deport or do awful things to those kids. And
what awful things are they going to do to those kids? Are they going to torture them? Are they going to waterboard them? What are they going to do? Oh, they're going to hold criminals accountable. That sounds like they're doing something great for those kids. Even if they don't understand it when they're little, when they become adults, they'll understand it. If you live in America and we keep going this way and we keep obeying the laws and enforcing the laws, when they become adults, they will become fine, upstanding citizens because they will understand you follow the laws.
I knew they had a better chance with me as their guardian, at least on paper, versus their actual parents. And that's sad.
Because they're criminals.
It got to the point where the kids came and stayed with me for a while, and they basically hid. They didn't have to, but they basically hid. And I will never forget, it was in the fall, so Halloween came. People were knocking on the door, and they just cowered.
They hid because they thought they were given to a pinche güera. You don't know how they talk about you when they're behind closed doors. This stupid white woman will do anything we want. You are their slave.
In my basement. They were so scared and they were so traumatized. I did not have strong views on ICE before then.
From what? What were they traumatized from? From the police knocking on the door looking for their dad. There was a criminal that ran. And then mom gives them up. Of course they're traumatized because the parents didn't do the right thing.
But I certainly have since then. And that is, I have no respect for the department. I have no respect for the work they're doing. I have no reason to respect people who are trying to disappear people who are just trying to get by.
They're not disappearing people. They're deporting them. There's a big difference. When you disappear people, they disappear. They can be found nowhere on the planet after that. Stupid.
And who are actively making our country a better place.
No, they're not. They're actively making the country a worse place for Americans. Okay? I worry about my sons being able to get a good job because I don't know how many times I've lost jobs or I've been beat for jobs, but the way I was beat for the jobs was not on qualifications. It was because the other guy walks in and says he'll take half the money. And they don't want to hire the American because the American's like, no, I want medical, dental, retirement. I want all the stuff that the law says I'm supposed to have as an American. And a lot of companies are like, okay, we'll hire the illegal. They don't want nothing. It's cheaper.
One time I asked my student, again, I didn't know for sure their legal status, but I kind of had an idea. And I asked my student, this was a different family, what made you come to the United States? This was actually English practice we were doing. And I will never forget, she looked at me and she said, in my home country, I could have a home for my kids to sleep in, or I could have food for my kids to eat, but I could not have both.
Why couldn't you have both? Why couldn't you have both? Because you weren't willing to work for it. Okay? No. What we say here, no, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Go figure it out. Go babysit other kids. Grow a garden. Get out there and do work. Go make a craft. Go do something that people want and need to get you the money. Okay? She was probably living in a home and didn't want to work. Like a lot of people.
I'm a mom, and I tell you now that if that were my situation, I would move heaven and earth. I would do whatever it took to get my child to a safe place where he not only has a roof over his head, but he has food to eat. And don't come at me with, well, they should have done it the right way. They can't, okay?
Yeah, they could have. Yeah, they could have.
I saw it firsthand. It is almost impossible to immigrate
It's not
to the
impossible.
United States. And
It's
again,
hard
as a mom,
because so many people won't come here.
If it's a choice of staying where you're at for years and years or indefinitely because that's what it takes to immigrate to the United States, or going illegally and trying to go through the channels afterward, but knowing that your child is safe and fed, that's what I'm gonna do, is the latter. Anyway, I will go on record. It's not legit. It's not cool. It wasn't during the first term of this administration. It certainly isn't now. And if you really believe that the people that they're picking up are truly who they promised they were, criminals, the worst of the worst, then I've got some beautiful oceanfront property to sell you right here in South Dakota.
Crazy woman. Crazy woman. No, we voted for Trump because he said he was going to deport all illegals, not just the criminals. Yeah, we want him to go after the worst ones first. The ones that are really, really messing up our country. Okay, and then while they're doing those, that they find some other ones that are just messing up the country, cool. Simple and easy. Y'all make it too much. This is like the last guy said, you can't reason with this. She believes what she believes, and she's never going to change her mind because she has too much hate. Let's listen to this one. This one's crazy. This one's crazy.
Right now, the Trump administration has deported a 10-year-old United States citizen.
We don't deport U.S. citizens. We don't do it. Stop lying.
Young girl, recovering from brain cancer. According to NBC News, immigration authorities removed the girl and 4 of her American siblings from Texas. They deported her undocumented parents as well.
No, not as well. They deported the parents. The parents chose to take the children and the little girl recovering from brain cancer with them. They could have left them here. They would have been taken care of. Yeah, I mean, it may have suck going into foster care somewhere, but you know what? They would have been taken care of and they would still be here in America. But that was the parents' choice. Stop lying and saying they deported the children and then they also deported the parents. No, they deported the parents. Parents said, no, bring our children. That's what happened. You know that's what happened. Stop lying.
The Texas family was literally on their way to an emergency checkup for this 10-year-old girl who was recovering from brain cancer when she was detained at an immigration checkpoint. Parents had done the trip.
Wait, emergency checkup? There's no such thing as an emergency checkup. A checkup is a checkup. An emergency is where you go to the emergency room. Big difference. Stop being an idiot.
Numerous times passing through an immigration checkpoint, every time without trouble. But this time was different. And the swelling in the girl's brain still has not fully gone away, and as a result, it caused difficulties with speech and mobility. And well, now, the entire family was taken to Mexico. Undocumented parents of U.S.-born children, if picked up by immigration authorities, face the risk of losing custody of their children. And Tom Homan, Donald Trump's borders are...
Yeah, because they're being deported. And if you're deported, there's no one here to take care of the children. If you have family here that can take care of the children, they will try their best to get those children with the family. But if not, then we'll take care of them. But it's your choice to take them with you or not. We're not purposely separating y'all. Y'all are separating yourselves.
Has repeatedly said that families can be deported together. And we don't have the name of the mother and the rest of the family members because they were allegedly deported to an area in Mexico that is known for kidnapping U.S. citizens. And 4 of the 5 children deported were born in the United States. More people need to know this story. Share it, spread the word, and follow along for all the news you need to know about.
Wow, this guy's an idiot. He is like so brainwashed. He doesn't even realize the lies that are coming out of his mouth. Now I see Liz comments say, oh, good, at least they're together. Spelled there wrong. Weird faces. Can you start dating your videos? Today is XYZ. Our breaking news is... yeah, but this isn't breaking news. It's just breaking stupidity. Okay, you're a liar. And a very large piece of shit. They were not the children. They were not the children, were not deported. The illegal parents maintained custody of their children, and the parents were deported, taking the children with them. They could have left the children, so no, they were not deported. Yeah, just like I said, come on. Obama would have put them in cages. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. Yeah, we know it's not true because they're American citizens. They wouldn't have been put in cages. As of this one. This one's crazy.
My dad bought everything for me to live over here, the rent, and I don't know what I'm going to eat. And I'm so hungry right now. I need my dad for me. My dad didn't do nothing. He's not a criminal or something. That's what the immigrants took them. So please let him free. Government, please put your heart. Let my parents be free with everybody else, please. Don't leave the child with kindness and everything. Thank you. That's all what words I have for y'all.
That's all the words she has for y'all. Yeah, she planned this. I mean, come on. She's a kid, yeah, but, you know, she knows exactly what she's doing. And she has somebody. Mom is right there. You know, mom could have went with dad, and you could have went with mom and dad. They chose this. So blame Papi.
They appealed for his release today outside City Hall, yesterday, I should say, outside City Hall.
My sisters are crying because their dad isn't here.
He should be with... Okay, then go visit him. Go see him. Move with him. If he belongs with y'all, y'all belong with him. So go. Follow him. You're supposed to follow your man's lead anyway, right? Come on.
So please, let him come home.
We did let him go home. We did. Liz, pull at your heartstrings. Look, please, Lord, help us. The government are just a-holes. I can't with them anymore. That just breaks my heart. Yeah, seeing a little child is heartbreaking. It's terrible. But you know what? When you see it all the time and you see how easily these little girls turn out, I'm not saying just Mexican girls, but I'm saying little girls. Little girls are taught to turn on the tears, because they know that's how they get what they want. Look at another one. Oh, that just ain't right. This breaks my heart. Yeah, that's the point. That's why they did it. That's why the little girl or the mom wanted her to do it. Come on. The pain in my heart aches as a dad. Really? Yeah, it does.
Are you or a family member?
Crazy. Just crazy.
Are you or...
Okay, here I want to see this, because this, like it says, if you can't find this heartbreaking, then you're not human. Trying to say, if you don't change your mind, you don't have a soul, you're not human. And you know what? Whether we get it or not, I empathize with a lot of these people. I get it. It sucks. Okay, but y'all aren't empathizing with us. You know why we voted for this? Because the Democrats and illegals have been making our lives miserable. All right? Why couldn't I buy a house like my parents on one wage? I was making almost twice the amount of the median income for Americans, and I still cannot buy a home. Why is that? Why? It's because of all the people, all the illegals here, all the companies hiring these illegals at lower wages. But I don't know. Let's see what they have to say and show us that they think is gonna just melt our hearts and make us change our minds about everything.
¿Quisieras decir algo?
Son unas mierdas, pinche gobierno, no van a chingar su madre. Vamos a ir al centro. Están mis hijas esperándolos en la casa. 6 niñas tengo que dependen de nosotros.
Ella es la mamá.
Y'all gonna translate?
¿Por qué se la están llevando?
Porque
¿A qué vinieron?
Tumbaron el caso, según. Es lo que están haciendo ahorita, por eso no venga nadie. No vengan porque se los van a llevar a todos.
What?
Están ahí arriba muchos de migración
They
esperando que les
took the kid's mom from their home.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
Eduardo Duarte.
¿Y ella cómo se llama?
What's your name? What's the mom's name? Oh, there goes mom. There goes mom. Yeah, she's acting. She's acting. She's like, oh, this is... she thinks if she falls down and plays victim hard enough, they're just going to give in. What? I can't hear what you're saying. Oh, he's telling her to get in, I think.
Okay, un momento.
I think he was saying, come on in with me. Come in here with me. Or something like that. Yeah, the AC is on. Oh, now he speaks English. Saying don't touch me when he was trying to go hands-on with them.
No
He's like, I don't want you to get in trouble or something. It's hard to hear him with the mask on. Okay, so really? Heartbreaking? Why is it heartbreaking? It's a woman that's being deported. It looks like she was denied, uh, status or permission to stay here. And so she's being deported. It looked like outside the courthouse, she's being deported. Oh, and look, she's taking her son with her. Oh, okay. Wow. Now, why didn't homeboy, which I guess is the father, why didn't he be like, okay, take me too? Or, you know what, baby? Hey, you know what? Don't worry. I'll be there right with you. I'll be right there. I'm going to get all our stuff together and pack up some stuff for us and sell whatever we got. And I will see you there as soon as I can. That's what I would do. If I was in a country and they were taking my wife or the children of or the mother of my children, no, best believe I'd be like, no. And also, no, you're not taking the kid with you. No, he's staying with me. The child is staying with me. No, you are being arrested. Our child is staying with me. I will take care of him. I will get all this stuff right, and we will meet you. Okay? We will meet you. We'll meet you here or wherever. Oh, you got your cell phone. Okay, your cell phone works down there. You know what? You have my phone number. Call me where you're at. I'll be on my way already with our son. That way he doesn't have to see what it's like for you and have to be told what to do by all these other people because you're taking him with you. That is a selfish mother. Super selfish. I thought this was supposed to make me, heartbreaking. Heartbreak. Come on. Look at this. The comments say ICE agents have no soul. Really? They're doing a job. Y'all have no soul when y'all come into a country that doesn't belong to you illegally and try to take jobs and homes from us, raising house prices because y'all are trying to take up living everywhere. Taking jobs because you're going to underbid us on everything because you're working illegally. Y'all have no soul. Let's see. What is the other comment say? It says, so where they hear illegal, then I feel no sympathy. They had the choice to come legally and choose not to. That's right. That is absolutely right. Let's take a look at this one for Canada. Family of 4 deported in Canada at the point of entry. Deported in Canada? You mean deported out of Canada or to Canada? What are you trying to say here? Let's find out what she's trying to say.
Family of 4 that got the Canadian visitor visa, and at the point of entry, they were sent back to their country because of this simple mistake, and I'll be talking about it in this video.
Oh, so they were deported. They weren't even deported. They weren't even in the country yet. They were sent back to their country. Or were they actually deported? Like, no, you're trying to enter, so we're going to take you back to your country. No, that doesn't. It's like, no, you can't come in, is what it sounds like.
You guys, recently we all know that the Canadian government relaxed their immigration rules, and they say that if you come to Canada as a visitor, as a tourist, you can be able to switch to a work permit if you are able to get an employer that is willing to sponsor you. So this family, they got this visitor visa. They were happy. Unfortunately, they used an agent, and this agent told them that, don't worry, even at the point of entry.
So one of the things to understand, too, is finding a company or a person that owns a company to sponsor you. That's when someone sponsors you, they're taking responsibility for you, saying, yeah, hey, this is a good person. They're going to work for me. and I will also be held accountable for their actions.
You can change to work permit. Just go, you will change to work permit. He forget to let them know that visit visa is visit visa. Study visa is study visa. Express entry is express entry. Why am I making this video?
Because just like the coyotes, this guy lied to them to get money out of them. And they didn't pay the extra money for the full service. So he only told them what they paid for. It sucks, but yeah, that's the way it works.
At the point of entry, when the immigration officer was asking them questions, the woman was asked, so what if you now get a job, and what will happen? Will you stay back or will you just go back after your visit? Because of the information she had, she now answered them yes, that she would, why? That she would change to one visa and she would stay back. Guys, they were sent back on the basis that they did not come for visits, that they will not be able to go back at the end of their visit.
Yeah, this is the Canadian government saying, F you, you're not getting in on a loophole.
They have another interior motive of staying back. Permit me to tell you this, visit visa is visit visa. Whatever visa you are traveling to any country at all, no matter what they say, no matter the change in their immigration law, stick to the rules of the visa you are traveling with, all right?
Yeah, you hear that? No matter what country you go to, they all have immigration laws that you have to follow and abide by. Not just America, all countries.
Answer questions regarding to the visa you are holding. And I said this, whenever you are, an immigration officer is asking you any question, you have to apply intelligence. These people will appear to be your friends, they will be smiling with you, but deep down they are doing their job. Any single mistake, guys, you are sent back to where you're coming from.
No, they're not acting like they're your friend. They're just happy, good people because they enjoy their lives, they enjoy their job, they enjoy living in their country. They're happy, and they're just being nice. Doesn't mean they're your friends.
And this is the case of this family. What is my tip? Whenever you get to any border, be straight to the point. Even if it's a visa interview, don't overshare your information. When you're asked any information, go straight to the point and stick to the rule of the visa. Simple, I am going for visit. End it there. Don't add any genre. Don't tell them this one. Don't tell them that one. Don't try to entice them. Go straight to the point. Be concise and clear. I made a detailed video about this on my YouTube channel.
So she's telling people, lie. The country that you want to move to, that you want to immigrate to, the first thing you should do to this country is lie to them. Where's, like, common decency? There's no decency here. She's telling people how to lie to get into other countries. It's ridiculous.
And I gave you guys list of questions that you might be asked at the border and how you should answer them. You might want to check out that video on my YouTube channel. The link is in the description box, and also you can just type Ada Kings on YouTube and you will see my channel. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys get value. Share this video so that others will not be a victim.
A victim? You're not a victim. You were trying to do something illegal through a loophole. And this woman has probably already done this. And she's also trying to make money off of it on YouTube. Wow.
Of this kind of scenario. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in our next video. For now, bye.
I'll see you lawbreakers another time. Bye. Let me see the comments. Were you there at the point of entering? The agent misled them. No, the agent didn't mislead them. The agent just didn't give him all the information. Or unless you're talking about the Canadian official, Canadian agent, didn't mislead him. Asked him simple questions. Let me see another one. Gradually, they're shifting the attention to Canada. UK can rest on TikTok now. Wow, yeah, because UK had tons of illegals, and they decided to finally start dealing with it. So now they're like, okay, we'll find another country that's going to let us sneak in. Let's see. David says, even if she's lying about the family, but her warning is real and honest. How about y'all just come on here and say, hey, don't break the law. Don't try to sneak in other countries. Immigrate the right way. Do things the right way. Don't be a freaking criminal. Stop being a shady individual. Nobody wants anything to do with you. Let me see another one. Well, I don't know. Oh, so sorry for that family. They must have sold everything back here with the intent of replacing with better ones. Really? I don't feel bad for them. They got suckered like everybody else. It sucks. It happens, but you got to have a brain. And you shouldn't be doing illegal shit. When you're trying to do illegal shit, bad people will take advantage of you. That's just how it works. Those people will trick you, and they will never repeat question 2 times. I remember when I went to U.S. Embassy in Fort Walter Carrington. Really? They will trick you, and they will never repeat the question 2 times. Really? They'll try to trick you. No, they're trying to determine whether you're trying to break the rules or use some loophole or just trying to get in their country. They're trying to protect their own sovereignty. Everybody's so big on sovereignty. Come on. Let's see. How much do I need to bring to Canada for a family of 4? Really? That's your question. Oh my, why is Canada all my TikTok una just us Canada, they disturb people? Really? How long does it take to get permanent residency in Canada? I hope you reply. It does not take long, depends on your score. What score? What are you talking about? I'm a student here in Canada. My husband intends coming in with a visit visa soon. Can we get a work permit as soon as he's here? You have to find somebody to sponsor you. And once again, y'all are trying to break the laws. If you're a student there, so you're trying, so didn't say you're a citizen. Oh my goodness. Another person, can someone get a work permit by entering with a visitor visa? I won't tell them I'm there for work. Oh my goodness. That's basically what she's trying to tell y'all in this video. And y'all are too stupid to even understand that she is trying to tell y'all how to break the law. This is just despicable. All right, everybody. That's all for today. Catch you next time.